Evening, guys.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome,
How,
Shield Wall Dragons.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, doing well. Great to have you guys on board tonight. Yeah, tonight is
yeah.
the tonight, as promised, we will be going over the Black Cauldron movie that that was not only that was not only on the 25th animated Disney feature length film, but also the very first PG rated Disney animated film of all time. Yeah, 40 years ago, on July 24th, as I recall, this film got its theatrical release. And back then, it was kind of, it was also deemed too scary for the studios to, well, for for people who were moviegoers back then to experience for a first time. So what would so and and tell me, gents, how much do you know about the thing?
The thing.
You mean the movie The Thing?
Yes.
Yeah. I've seen the movie numerous times and gone on over on other people's channels. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good movie. It's
Same
a
here.
very good movie.
Yeah. 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 It's pretty. Yeah, it was quite interesting movie. I just rewatched it earlier today as well. Yeah, it's based on stories that are part of Welsh mythology, and a lot of it involving revolving around dragons, ghouls, reapers, tyrants, and stuff, even witches. If it stars a boy who it stars a boy named Taran looking who was looking to get involved in a war and wanting to fight bad guys for the fun and glory of it. But we know how that turned out at the beginning of the film.
Yeah, I think uh, every, at least
Yeah.
when I was growing up, every young boy, that was kind of what your dream was, right? You know, you want
Oh
to
yeah.
grow up to go on adventures and be heroic and you know, save the princess, defeat the bad guy. Uh, you know, everything is very, fantasized and no reality is taken into account. You know, because you're young, you haven't had any of those experiences. So, because how old do you figure Taryn is? Maybe 12, if that, in the show. So, um, yeah, I think that's why this animation is quite popular.
Yeah. Yeah, and and if you look at the geese on the left, you might recognize them from another animated Disney film that came out 14 years before this one.
Oh, the Robin Hood one
Well, close.
or the Sword in the Stone?
I'm talking about the geese.
Oh, the geese. Oh,
Was it? Was it
Yeah,
Charlotte's Web?
yeah, they look really familiar from to those from another Disney animated film that came out 14 years before this one, which was in the early 70s.
Hmm.
yeah. Well, I think they used a lot of the same animators. Uh,
Yeah. Hmm. Yes, here. These geese right here will clearly bear resemblance to the ones from the Aristocats movie. If you,
oh, I
yeah,
haven't seen that movie in a very long time. I forgot there was even geese in it.
yeah. Ah, Jake Martin's here.
Hey,
Welcome,
what's up,
Jake.
guys?
Hey.
Yep, we're on the part
Um,
where it starts with the main character messing around with the geese in the yard, imagining himself as a swordsman fighting against enemy soldiers.
yeah, I heard you guys talking about some other animated movies like the that you recognize the geese from.
Yeah, aristocrat.
I never watched this before, but I was going to say the one of the fair folk. I'd noticed that, man. The one that joins them, Dolly. That one reminded me hardcore of like Jafar from the first Aladdin movie. There was like a few frames where he was like kind of like craven and crazy looking, and he looked just like old man Jafar when he was disguised in the dungeon.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I didn't think that was a coincidence.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was funny of how he messed with the keys, but then gets messed back by a goat. You
Well, yeah,
yeah, after rattling it by the horns.
because he was pretending it was the Horned King that everyone
Yeah,
had, is scared of, and he's like,
yeah.
I'm not scared of him. I'm gonna.
Uh-huh.
But then the goat winds up knocking him down, and then him and Henwig, the pig, get dirty. It
Yeah,
was
like
weird
this.
because when it starts out, it's like, okay, the Henwig the pig, it's a female pig, but it's a special pig. I thought that it was like gonna talk or something at some point, but it never did.
I was
Yeah,
so sure it was going to talk, dude.
I thought it was gonna get. I thought it was like a person, and they're gonna get turned back into the person. or
Right
something.
into a person. Yeah, exactly.
I was like so sure that was what was going to happen, and then like when they get to like the I don't even know what you want to call that, man. Like it's like a divining pig, an orrery pig.
Right.
Divine
Yeah.
pig.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, so it like dipped its face in the wash basin, and now we got visions. Okay, I'm with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very special pig, which is why
It's a
it's got its
special
own little
pig.
house, and uh, the pig handler feeds it a special meal that he
Well,
cooks.
yeah, that was like, dude, from the outset of the movie, it was like this pig is so important that it not only merits its own like dedicated pig handler, but like a pig handler assistant.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's
we
what
need, we
Terran
need the
is.
pig. Yeah,
Yeah, he's technically the assistant pig handler, and
yeah,
feeds
the
the
pig
pig,
understudy.
and yep, washes the pig.
What a
So they
life,
have,
man.
yeah. So yeah, here's where although I think this might be later in the movie.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But that one picture over on the far right is the one that I can't remember his name. The old man that is like his mentor.
Oh,
It's Darren or Dale.
Oh my God, it's on the tip of my tongue. Dalden.
Yeah, that's who it is.
this guy.
Yeah, he's teaching him about it, and he's the one that that shows you that Henwig the pig, her special ability is she's the divining pig, and so you
Yeah.
put a bowl of water in front of her or some kind of liquid. She puts her face in it, and you stir it a little bit, and then it'll show. And then you got to say something too. Can't remember.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
like,
a cool little rhyme.
yeah, show me something that I don't know or whatever, and the water will swirl, and then you can see things. And so when they do this here, they see the Horned King is riding around. He's looking for the Black Cauldron, because the Black Cauldron at the beginning of the movie, there was an ancient king that was very evil, and even the gods feared him. And so what they did was, and they couldn't really kill him because this evil was so powerful, is they trapped him in molten metal, which turned into this cauldron, and it has like a face on it and everything. So if you control the cauldron, it has the ability to bring back the dead. So you can basically control an army of undead. That's what the Horned King, who once you see him, he really looks like a lich or something. He's not like a regular guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the main
he's like
villain.
right. Yeah, he's like an undead wizard or something.
Yeah,
That was the vibe I kept getting too, man. It was like like the lich character.
Yeah, it's kind of a there he is. So he's
Yeah.
got horns. I think they're just part of his hood. Maybe I don't think they come out of his head.
Yeah, he
but
does. Yeah, he does look like the character called the Lurch from the Adventure Time series.
right. So he's very skeletal looking. He's got red eyes and sharp teeth and clawed hands with like really like parchment looking skin, like almost like a mummy or something.
Yeah.
You know, like it bugged me that we didn't get to learn more about this guy. I felt like it was like there's you just kind of get introduced to these characters and you're just supposed to kind of like take it on face value. And I mean, like they look really good and
Well,
they're definitely the story's interesting. But like I wanted more backstory. Like what makes this guy the Horned King? Like why is he a king at all? Why are these people following him?
the interesting thing about this whole movie is the story is told like a bard would tell it in an inn or like a something where it's a oral story told over and over, so they have to keep it very simple. There isn't a lot of backstory and all this other stuff. And so imagine somebody is telling you the story verbally, and it's like
Like
an old
Flute or Flam, for instance.
right, exactly. But so they keep the plot rolling, and it's about heroes and princesses and all this stuff, but the deep
Yeah.
back lore, I think that's something more of a modern audience really is into, and that's not the method in which they were telling this story, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense for like a movie, for an animated movie that you got, you can only fit so much in there. So I learned that this movie is based off the first two books of a 5-book series, Terran and the Magic Cauldron.
Ah,
Right,
5
yeah,
bucks,
for the
Gary?
kingdom. It's all the books are about the kingdom, Pidwin or whatever it's from.
Yeah,
it
it's
was
like
part of.
Pridewin, something like that.
Something like that, right? But all the names are like old Celtic.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so like I would assume that like this stuff is more fleshed out over 5 books, of course.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm not sure if they were children's books though.
Hello there. Yep.
No. Hey, Copa,
Hi,
Emily.
Emily. Hi, guys. Yep.
Yeah, they seem like they were kind of like intended, like kind of like the young teen, early adult kind of
Right. Yeah.
market. Yeah.
Right. Which is more than but they're not like for little kids, like 6 or 7.
No.
Nope.
No, even like the movie, it's I guess like in animating this, they had to tone it down a bunch of times because like they felt like it got too dark.
It kind of did. There was a few times in here where I was like, "Wow,
You can find like some of the original cells of when like the Cauldron born are coming to life, and like, dude, they're horrific, man.
yeah." That's
Yeah.
why I was like, "This movie, some parts of it I could see for little kids would actually be scary."
Yeah, well, I guess when they screened the original movie, there was like families that like they were taking their kids out of the theater because it was too scary. And I'm like, damn it, I want to see that version of this movie.
Well, you also got to remember that back then people were a little more concerned about what their kids saw than these days.
For certain, yeah, and like Disney didn't do stuff like that.
Right. Yes. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It had to be like general audience. This is the first Disney movie with the PG rating.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what's most remarkable about this film. Not only is it number 25 of all animated Disney movies, but it's also the very first PG-rated Disney animated film ever made. And you don't usually get G-rated animated Disney movies much anymore. From here on out, you get PG and animated Disney movies, probably because they wanted more.
This was pushing the envelope.
Frog King. Yeah, well, it's the Horned King to be exact, but yeah, underrated, I know.
Oh, Frog King, like from Princess and the Frog, the Voodoo Man?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that'd be scary as hell.
Yeah. And is it woke? No, it was just unexpected that the people who were working on it probably had some of the lines rushed, toned down, and probably had no idea what they were doing.
I wouldn't say it was woke. No, it's not woke. I mean, there's a princess in it who is effective and competent, and she, has a real tangible difference on the outcome. And she is not a, like wokeified girl boss. She's just a good character.
Right. Yeah. But she is a princess, and
yeah, her name is Helen
Maid.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, her name is Ellen Wade, a Welsh blonde princess who was found locked up in the dungeon by the Horn King's forces.
Right.
Yeah,
Because they
that's
thought that her little glowy thing could lead him to the Black Cauldron, so they locked her up in there. Are you saying you thought she was a maid or something, Jacob?
Well, the Horned King calls her that.
Oh, that's probably just to degrade her, because what maid would have a magical little bauble?
Or maybe like a maid, like a maiden.
Oh,
right.
possibly. I could see where the confusion is maybe she's pretending to be a princess when she's really a scullery maid or something.
That would have been a good wrinkle, man. I would have liked that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but she's a pretty good character.
Yeah.
I mean, she does make a comment about, how boys are dumb and girls are smart, but
Yeah.
everybody, you know what I mean? Everybody kind of knows that.
It's like watching it like in context with the time it came out, though. It felt much more like innocent and less like malicious.
No, because let's be honest, when you're younger, girls mature more emotionally, and so sometimes they have a little more emotional intelligence than younger boys do.
Yep.
So that would totally make sense. Plus, at that age, everyone's got cooties and stuff. So
That's true.
And
in her defense, he was being kind of dumb. It's like,
yeah,
you got
was,
the magic
right.
sword, and I helped out a lot. Thank you very much. I saved you. That's the only reason you found that sword. Thank you.
Right.
Taryn.
Because some stuff happens. They have to like run around inside the
yeah.
Because he got locked up, and she found him and helped him escape. So
that whole escape sequence is so fucking good, dude. Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he finds the crypt with the sword.
Yes.
And and it's a magical sword, which probably goes back to Celtic lore, those kinds of things. Because in Anglo-Saxon times, Scandinavians, all of that, they used to give swords names, and they thought it gave them power. There's a famous sword in Iceland called Legbiter. That's what his owner gave it, because he would constantly cut people in the leg with it. And there are certain swords, the Uthbert swords or Cuthbert swords, that are they think they were made from Damascus steel, like they imported it up there and then made swords out of it. And because of that, they were considered magical, because the steel was so superior that it would cut right through a regular iron sword and shatter them, go through armor, all that kind of stuff, keep their edge very well. So they were considered quote unquote magic. And in the blade, they would have whoever forged those swords put the lettering in it. And so, but then people started to copy it and like make fake ones and stuff. So yeah. But the concept of magic swords, magic rings, all that kind of stuff, that all comes from the Germanic, Scandinavian, Celtic kind of lore, which this movie, heavily draws upon.
Yeah, I don't know that it was really explained like why the sword was magic. I mean, like, so he pulled it from like the old king's tomb,
right? Yes, because the old king had it, and he, obviously he would have a magic sword. So.
Well, like, I wondered, like, okay, well, is the sword like imbued with the spirit of the long dead good king to like help out our heroes? Like, is that what's going on? Was the sword already magical when it was put in the tomb?
I think it was when it was put in the tomb. It was like a long lost magical blade of lore, of yore, and because it does like a lightning thing, like he holds it against metal, and it'll like spark and then blow the metal up.
Yeah, well, he has like basically no sword fighting skills, and like the sword just kind of like takes over and takes him on autopilot.
Exactly. Yes.
Yep.
I thought that was neat.
Which you see that a lot in certain like games, and like D&D especially, where you can have either a sentient sword and depending on how much sentience it has, sometimes it'll just guide your hand. Or
I was thinking D&D the whole time, dude.
Right. Like, otherwise, they have ones that can talk. They have their own personalities and everything. A lot of them are evil, like they must taste blood every couple of weeks or get mad at you or something. But some
Yeah.
aren't.
like that weird the what was it it was King Arthur and the sword or something.
Oh,
That one that came out a while back.
Excalibur.
Yeah. No, it came out like
Oh,
2016 or something, or 15.
Oh, a movie about King Arthur along with Clive Owen in it?
oh, Sword in the Stone, I think
no.
he was referring to.
You're talking
Yeah.
about a blade
Let me
that
look it up.
that had sentience and like
Yeah.
guided your hand.
Kind of. I'll look it up real quick. See if I can
Okay.
find it.
I liked the princess. She was. I thought they drew her well. She looked good. I liked her costume, and the way she acted. And
She was
Taryn
whimsical.
was, yes, and Taryn was Taryn. Now they introduced later or in the middle of it, Groony, the little bear dog thing or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Monkey,
I
I'm
couldn't
not
figure
sure.
out what the hell he was, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gurgi.
Is that his name? Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Monkey
like
still is.
a badger with a mustache. He got a great mustache. Whatever it is,
Yeah.
got a great mustache.
Yeah, Welsh Badger, I believe it was at this little guy was.
Oh,
There he is. Yeah, is that what he's supposed to be? He's supposed to be a badger?
Yeah, something like that.
come on, man! You didn't get badger from that? Like, come on.
No, I wasn't sure what he was.
I got
No, I'm
Listen.
just kidding. I had no idea what he was either, man.
Yeah, Emily Kruger does make a good point. Princess Yeleni kind of looked like Princess Zelda with another outfit.
Right.
Yeah, she even had the fairy thing going on.
Yep. What were you saying, Jacob? You said you found the movie you were talking about?
Yeah, it's 2017 King Arthur Legend of the Sword. It was an
Oh.
okay movie, but the effect when he grabbed the sword with two hands, it would like slow time down. It's kind of an interesting.
Oh,
twist.
right. Yeah, okay. Was that the one that had I'm trying to think of his name as the actor. But they did there was a scene where he was like in like a courtyard and a bunch of guys were trying to attack him.
Yeah.
And the sword took over. And
Had
then
Jude Law and Charlie.
yeah, and then
Hunnam.
one of the I thought this I didn't like the movie that much, but I thought that effects battle was really good because what they did is they had a camera showing his face as if it was you put a camera on the tip of the sword facing back at him, and then he was like swinging it and stuff. It was really cool the way they did it, and it was almost like the sword took over and he didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah, it wasn't that great of a movie, but it had some neat aspects to it.
Right. Yeah.
I would watch that scene. That sounds neat.
Hello, Ron.
Yeah, it's that scene is pretty cool. I was impressed by it. Yeah, so I guess this is a badger.
So
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, is it a dog? Is it a?
Yeah, I thought it was like a dog, monkey thing.
Yeah,
Well, it
Mexican.
talks. That's the thing, is it talked. So I thought it was a magical creature.
Forest.
And then of course,
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead, dude.
yeah, so, and then later they're fairies and stuff. So
Yeah, they ran into this guy who was also, he was first met by Taran sometime after, right before they were ambushed by the two Wyvern dragons that the Horn King sent out.
So what was supposed to happen was they do the scrying thing with Henwig the pig, and Galleon, I guess is his name, the pig handler, is like, because through the scrying they figure out that the Horn King is looking for the pig because he found out somehow that there's a scrying pig. So Taryn has to take the pig and he gives him like a loaf of bread and a couple apples, and he's like, take him to the cottage and close to the forbidden. Take Henwig to the cottage close to the forbidden forest. So he had to go there. So when he's traveling there, he looks into a pool of water and starts daydreaming about being a warrior, and the pig wanders off. So now the pig's gone, and correct me if I'm wrong, that's when he runs into the little badger thing. That thing tries to steal his apple, and he's like, hey, have you seen a pig? And he's like, no, I want some crunchies and munchies and whatever. And they have a big interaction where he bites the apple after playing around trying to steal it from him. And so then they hear the pigs, so they run to this field, and that's where these two. I can't remember what they called them.
Wyverns.
Well,
They were
is that what he
They're
called it?
they're Gwilthanes.
Gwilthanes. That's it.
Wyverns.
We know that they're wyverns, but
Yeah.
there was a Celtic name for it. So these things are flying around, and they're trying to get the pig, and the pigs jump in and doing all kinds of stuff. And the animation with the pig like tumbling and rolling around kind of reminded me a lot of like the animation you would see in like my Lady and
Anime.
the Tramp and a couple of other ones.
Oh,
The drawing style with the debris picking up and everything
Yeah.
as the pigs
yeah,
are trying
that's
to run.
It was
Yeah.
stellar, dude. I had
Yeah, it was-
watched this kind of making of the Black Cauldron. I guess it was one of the first Disney movies they ever used like computer generated animation for too.
really?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
But
I
as-
think that segment when like the dragon things are trying to pick up the pig, I didn't know exactly where they had used it. I kind of thought that maybe that was part of it.
I think they used it when they raised the army at the end with all the green missiles.
Oh, well, surely they did it at that point. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So the pig gets taken by the wyverns and flown off to this castle, and
Yeah.
but Taran tries to stop. He grabs the tail of one and gets dragged, and he's got like blood coming out of his mouth, and
Yeah,
all
that
messed
surprised
up.
me, man.
Yeah.
yeah. And then he runs to a whole big briar patch and gets even more cut up. Then he sees the castle they took him to. So apparently they weren't very far away from it. Anyway, he sees the castle and he's going to try to get up there, and he keeps sliding back down the hill, but he doesn't give up. And then when he gets up there, he finds like a hole in the wall that he's so small he can fit through.
Yeah,
And,
the Horn
so
King's
now-
castle.
Right. So now he's in the castle, which apparently, when he finds the sword, we find that the castle actually belonged to somebody else. It wasn't really the Horn King's. He just kind of took it over.
Yeah, I think like the intimation sort of is like the Horn King is some kind of usurper.
Right. Exactly.
Like that he had killed the previous inhabitant. That was kind of like the impression I got. They never just come out and say it, but that's how it seemed, I guess.
Right.
They just don't fill it all in.
Also, the grave of the previous owner was really ancient looking. Like it had a whole bunch of gunk and dust and stuff, all the spider webs and stuff. Because
it wasn't like they just put the guy in the ground. Yeah.
Right. He had to like wipe off a bunch of dirt and stuff.
Yeah.
So the other thing that was interesting, right, is that the Horn King is like some kind of weird lich-looking guy, but all of his minions, except for the little goblin guy, are all humans. So it's not like he's got orcs or hobgoblins or something in there.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too, because like when they first went into that castle, I guess I was thinking like it didn't have anything to do with the Horn King, because the first person we run into is like a regular person.
He's the one that after he catches the bard, he's got the dog, and he's like, "You look like a smart fellow." And he turns and looks at him. He's got that one tooth.
Yeah.
He looks so dumb.
It was really good, dude.
Yeah, but notice how all the guys, like his underlings, have like that 5 o'clock shadow kind of. If you ever saw Ren and Stimpy, they all look like the galoots. It's a big galoot.
Yeah, good call. They got that like surly kind of dopey look going.
Yeah, and they are, some of them are quite stereotypical too with the beards and things. But hey, it worked out to describe them well as bad guys. And,
Well, right, exactly.
Yeah, and when Tarn used that magic sword to defend himself, it destroyed some of their weapons, while helping them make it through the obstacles that the Horn King's men have created.
Right. Yeah.
Taran was like incredible. There was never a point where he thought, "I am not going to do this." Like he was scared. I don't know. I appreciated that. I respected that. He never thought, "I'm going to give up and go back home" at any point. He didn't really take much convincing. Like he, kind of pleaded with Gurgi to go with him. Like, "What? You're not going to come with me? You're not really a friend," and all that. But other than that, man, like that was a lot for a like a 12-year-old kid to take on. And
The the other thing is
Yeah.
he's not like the chosen one. He's not perfect.
No,
He's not
the
good at
pig
everything.
farmer's apprentice, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Assistant,
there's like
rather.
a point where he's like running and he drops the sword, and I'm like, oh man. And then he goes down and gets it, and that allows him to hide under this like little archway thing while the guys are chasing him. And then the
Yeah.
princess is, on her own because of that. The only thing that was kind of weirded me out is where did her little like light bauble thing go?
Yeah, dude. I don't know if that got like cut from the movie or something. Now, like
Well,
supposedly there was 10 minutes of the movie that was completely done that the new CEO at the time, after the movie was finished, was like, we got to take at least these 10 minutes out. And they did that over like the course of a year. So I assumed that was kind of like something that just got lost.
the movie
Wow.
wasn't really that long. I mean, it's an hour and a half, but it wasn't.
It used to be
too bad.
longer. There was like, if you ever get the time, dude, there is like a whole sordid history with this movie and just like a few years of production hell and running over budget, of course. I mean, pretty typical stuff, but then like a power struggle amongst the like senior animating staff and the turmoil with the CEO position at the time. It was like the first outsider from Disney. Like this person had never worked in animation before. They were like a Hollywood pro that had only ever done live action. And that's the person that decided, hey, this movie, first of all, is way too dark. And secondly, it's just too like he thought there was too much like bloat in the film. And that it was basically just like wasted time on screen and that the kids were gonna not be happy with it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a possibility. Maybe those 10 minutes were not that fun.
Yeah. I think I would have liked to have just seen the movie as it was intended.
Right. Or a director's cut or something. Show me the
Yeah.
Snyder cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, director's cut would have also come in
Right.
handy too, but
They didn't really do that back then, I don't think.
Yeah, it might be too difficult for them to pull off now because back then it was all done with regular with how animated movies were done in 2D animation, and it's
I guess
unclear.
not.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I don't even know how they can actually pull off restoring 2D animated full cut to a movie that came out back in the 80s when we don't even have that technology or the means to do that.
I think if in another 10 years, AI will be able to do it. Like totally render it. Yeah, and just look the font look that way. I mean, it might be a little wonky, but it'll be able to fill in the gaps pretty well. Because they can doing crazy stuff with it now.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, as far as re-releasing a movie too, I guess like this is one of the only Disney movies that they never saw fit to re-release because it just didn't do well enough.
When it came out, I saw the thing, but I never watched it. I didn't see it until like years later, and I never watched the whole thing. This viewing I did yesterday, or I'm sorry, this morning, was the first time I saw it front to end. Like I didn't know that there were witches in it that were making bargains and stuff. I only saw like up until they escaped from the castle.
I had seen like the highlights of the movie basically. I'd never watched it in its entirety before today.
Right.
Yeah, but same here.
Yeah. I guess at the time, like it reviewed fairly well. I mean, kind of middling, but it just didn't like attract a big enough audience. It like to the point where they released it under a different name to kind of like re-release it and recoup some of the loss by like changing the story around slightly and like cannibalizing the movie. That's where Terran and the Magic Cauldron, I guess, like got a wide release in South America. And it's like a different retelling of the same movie, recycling a lot of the same animation that they'd already done.
Yeah, I know. When it came out, I was like, oh, it sounds like it's cool, but I just never saw it for whatever reason. And I don't think they marketed it very strongly or very well.
No, they sure didn't, man, from what it seems like.
Yeah.
And then the reviews were, I think, because it was PG or whatever, that might have turned a lot of people off to it. Sure. And then when they saw it, they were like, wait a second, this really isn't PG.
Oh no.
You know.
No,
Yeah.
I think like it was that PG is really pushing it. I mean, there were some things in there, but like it wasn't over the top.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely not PG-13. But I guess the original version was much more like a lot. If you can find like those animation cells that have been recovered, especially like from the Cauldron Born scene, like that stuff is gruesome. It's like heavy metal-esque. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Right. When he's raising the dead army. Yeah.
Yeah, it is neato. There's like people getting like their flesh burned off and stuff. Like it's hardcore.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, they deemed it too scary.
Also,
Yeah, it was
I think what was it? The one of the three witches when she was trying to like
Oh yeah.
talk to the bard. What's his name? It's like
Yeah, I'm trying to look the guy up.
Flu
Yeah.
and flubba
Flubba something. Anyway,
Fluter.
right, Fluter. When she's trying to talk to him, she's like all over him. Oh, and then she turns him into a frog, and he goes down her cleavage. And I was like,
Oh.
wow, that's a little racy for a kids thing. I can see why that got
Yeah.
PG-13 because he's
Yeah,
like
that makes
stuck in
sense.
there, and to keep her and her, I guess their sister or fellow witch, one wants to
Yeah.
eat him and turn him into a frog, and the other wants to turn him back to a human so she can marry him.
Yeah.
It kind
So
of
they're
makes
like
sense.
shooting
Like
with wands and stuff, and also he is
Hello.
he's an old guy.
yeah.
He's not a
Yeah.
young like character at all.
No. I
and-
guess
and
like in
honest-
the book he's portrayed as more of like he's like an old philanderer type of bard. Like he goes
Right.
from town
Yeah.
to town. He's like a love him and leave him type.
Right. Yeah, here he is. But okay, so he has a lyre, right? The little harp thing. And anytime he tells a lie, the strings bust on it. So I
Yeah.
don't know if that thing is sentient or it's magical or what, but he never really uses it. I thought he was going to like play music and it was going to like do stuff,
Yeah. I kind of figured that was
people
another
or-
thing that got cut out of the movie. I thought surely to God that this harp is it's going to come into play at some point, and like it just kind of it's
Right.
like you get a few laughs out of it.
Right. I thought he was going to be able to use it to do something like, inspire
Yeah.
people or some kind of magical. It was a magical harp because the strings break. It doesn't talk or really do anything other than when he tells a lie, the springs will break. On it, and he
Yeah.
has to stretch them back out, like reattach them.
It's just dawning on me that it's a liar, and he tells the lie. Like that's just now.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
sticking up for me.
Yeah, that's what the musical instrument that it looks like a little harp kind of thing is also referred to as a lyre.
Yeah. Well, I
found,
had known that. I just didn't put it together.
I found some artwork from it. I don't know if it's the stuff you're talking about, but yeah, it's pretty spooky. I can share it if you want me to.
Yeah.
Oh, also there was a cat in the beginning.
Yeah, I never see that cat again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
when
just called Cat.
Yeah, he was going to feed it the gruel or whatever they were making, but it didn't want any.
Also, dude, does the old man ever show up again? Old man from the beginning,
Yeah, he does at the
Dalton.
end.
I think
Is,
right
is
at
he in
the
there at
end.
the end?
Yeah, he does at the end.
I thought like he was going to show up again at the castle for some reason.
Okay. Yeah. And keep talking, guys. I got another guy who wants to come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these
Okay.
are the fairies. The one in the pink, she almost looks like she's from like Whoville or something.
Yeah.
Little
each have-
Cindy Luffy.
Yeah. Yeah, they each have different colors, almost like rainbows. So there's a part where they're trying to, so they escape from the castle, and they're good. They're on the trail of the pig again because they help the pig escape. Because so they go to the castle. The Horned King forces Terran to use Henwig to give him a vision. So he actually knows that the Black Cauldron is real. So apparently he was like trying to find it, but he wasn't even sure it was a real thing. But now he knows it's real. So they're going to find out where it's at, and it's in a place called Morvaig or something. So they're going to go try to find it. But meanwhile, they escape, and they throw the pig into the moat, and then Terran is captured, and so the pig takes off. But then Terran escapes, so they're going to try to find the pig, and they find its tracks, and it goes to a pond where these little stones are at. Well, when they go across the stones start to sink into a magical whirlpool, and they get sucked into like this underworld. That's where the fairies live.
Yep.
And
These fairies.
Yeah, these fairies here. So the fairies help them, and also Hedwig's down there, the pig. So they say, hey, keep the pig there, and then we'll go and try to fight the Horned King and stuff. So one of the the Fairy King sends one of the fairies with him who's like he like fixes things and is in charge of, like the whirlpool, and the whirlpool's broke. So basically he's in charge of fixing everything. So he sent him with them.
Dolly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the guy that gave me the Jafar and the dungeon vibes. There's like a couple frames of him, and I thought that's totally it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's him. This is where, when you first introduced to him, he's trying to fix like this leaf contraption that lets like magic water spill down.
Yeah.
And
He's
it
kind of
winds up
wacky
breaking.
too.
Yeah, kind of winds up breaking. But he's got it's hard for you to see in this, but they all have little tiny wings that allow them to fly. And they can turn into sparkles, like almost kind of invisible, but not really. And when they turn into sparkles, they can actually lift people up and fly them around. So because I guess they disperse their mass so they can hold more. But they fly like the Bard and Terran and the Princess out of there. To take them to Morvaig or wherever that place is, which is a giant tree. Looks like a giant tree cottage thing with a bunch of cauldrons all over the place and pots and pans and stuff everywhere.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, at this point, her little magical ball of light is gone. So I don't know where it went.
I don't either, man. They never explained that.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, they run into these witches there at the cottage.
Right. So the more buxom one is the one that wants to get with the Bard. And the other two, they just want to, basically
eat the guy as a frog.
Be evil a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of.
So they make a deal to give them the Black Cauldron if Terran gives up the sword willingly. Which he does. So they're like, okay, we always keep our deals, and so they bring out the Black Cauldron. But they keep referring to, like, if you really want to use it to gain its power, somebody has to climb inside it, basically sacrifice themselves. So you have to put somebody in, and they'll die, and then this green mist will come out, and it'll be able to resurrect like everybody else instead.
Bro, is that how it works? Because I was thinking that they told them if they want to destroy it, someone has to sacrifice themselves.
Yeah. 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 Something. Yeah, that's what they told them right before it happened.
Yeah, well, because like I was watching this on the second monitor, so I might have missed that. That could have been a crucial detail. But yeah, I was thinking that like when Gurgi threw himself in the cauldron to destroy it, I figured like it would just work automatically. You started throwing like dead soldiers in there, like the Horn King does, and that was the magic would take hold.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not the case, guys?
Yeah, this is the part where the Horn King uses the Black Cauldron to bring the dead to life in an attempt of taking over the world with them under his command.
Did he like have to sacrifice one of his henchmen? Is that what he did?
He put one of the dead bodies in there to make the thing work. And it brought back quite a lot of dead soldiers.
Yeah, and then he never even got to use them. They made it like 10 feet. That must have been heartbreaking for him.
Yeah, it had to have been heartbreaking. Yeah, never.
Yeah, in the end of where he raises the army up, it shows him kind of dive on the men, his henchmen.
Yeah,
But what happens to him is they turn into skeletons themselves and join the army.
yeah,
That's what some of the scenes they cut, do, and their skin like melts off of them.
yeah. That too. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. That's what happened. Eventually, eventually Gurgi came to their rescue, and then and then he had to sacrifice himself to help put a stop to Horn King before his dead soldiers could make it out into the town to terrorize the people. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was quite the he had quite the conscience. Ah, finally, welcome, welcome back, King Style.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, what's
Yeah,
up, man?
yeah,
Dude, this is a interesting movie because this should have been when PG-13 was a thing. I don't know if PG-13 was made yet.
no, not yet.
Okay, so this was before the basically Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? So this movie was made.
Well, it came out after Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, this was 85, I think.
Yeah, so PG-13 was created then, because
Yes.
that's why we have PG-13 because Spielberg and Lucas was like, we'll put a couple of thousands of dollars in your pocket. We'll leave this suitcase right here and make it more family friendly for us and not R. And you'll keep more of this and we'll give you more every time. Just make PG-13, please.
Yeah,
And that's how PG-13 exists because they
Yeah,
didn't
we
want
were
it to be
talking
rated
earlier.
R.
We were talking earlier that this got nerfed from the original vision.
Yeah, because Jeffrey Katzenberg basically destroyed, or he possibly destroyed the footage, the animation cells.
yeah,
So
yeah. That's one of
we're not going
the
to see
people. That's
the
one.
original version ever again.
I know. Yeah, that was one of the people who worked on the animation, correct?
Originally, no.
Oh,
He took liberties when he found out the test screenings didn't do well.
Yeah,
And
that's the guy that came in. I don't think he had ever been in animation before that point. But didn't he take over as like the CEO like after production was pretty
well,
much done?
well, him and who was it? Oh my God, I forgot his name. He was the president of Disney in the 90s. Not Katzenberg.
I
Eisner, yeah. Eisner, him and Eisner came from Paramount. I
Yep.
think in the 80s, like they left in the mid to late 80s.
Yeah.
No,
that's when it
they
became-
left in the early 80s. They left and Disney offered them, "Hey, you guys are great. Help us fix the company because we haven't been doing well." And they came in and basically tried to fix things, and they improved the little things here and there,
Yeah.
or destroyed if you're Jeffrey Katzenberg. And Jeffrey was very greedy and selfish. Him and Robin Williams fought over the Aladdin promotional stuff. That's why Homer Simpson or Dan Castaneda took over for the TV series / the sequel stuff for Aladdin. Because he lied to him and said, "Hey, well, we won't use only like 30% of you will be used in the promotional material."
Yeah,
that
but
wasn't
they brought
true.
Williams back for the third movie, which was King of Thieves.
They did, but they had to apologize to him. But by the time that happened, Jeffrey left to form DreamWorks with Steve Jobs and trying to think of like another person's. Oh yeah, Steven Spielberg. By the time that happened, so he was gone from the company. He didn't like Katzenberg, and Katzenberg left because he wanted to be the head of Disney. Because the other, not Eisner, but there was another guy that was in the company. Sadly, he passed away in a helicopter crash
Oh my goodness!
with his wife, I think.
Wow.
Like, I think going on vacation, they went on a helicopter detour thing and they crashed and died. So they needed a new head of Disney, and Eisner wanted it and Katzenberg wanted it. And probably due to the fact Katzenberg screwed up with Robin Williams and the Black Cauldron debacle of him destroying animation cells, they didn't trust him at Disney. They're like, we want Eisner more.
Well, I guess that's another fissure added to the list of what led us to the path of of digital animation.
Yeah. And honestly, I wouldn't trust Katzenberg either. Why would you destroy animation cells?
Yeah,
You literally could have asked the animators, hey, can you redo this? Give them more money and redo it. Don't burn the cells or alter the cells because you want to save a couple of dollars.
Yeah, I believe that's the guy who was like, not negotiable. This movie, we're taking 10 minutes out of this movie, like after it was already done.
And here's the thing: if they wanted this movie to be PG-13, put it under the Touchstone Pictures or the Hollywood Video brand.
Oh, that was never going to happen because like they started out with saying this is going to be like the next Snow White for Disney. So like that was the vision from the beginning.
They
and
were
of course
doomed.
it didn't pan out that way. Yeah.
Also, another thing that was like a little raunchy was the wench or whatever. She'd be a whore, non-PG. She'd just be a whore. That's it. She's just the whore at the bar.
Yeah, the belly dancer lady.
Yeah,
Shulwalt was saying, I don't know if he's still here, but he was saying that in the scene with the three sisters and they're bargaining for the cauldron, that like I guess originally they turn the bard into a frog and the frog goes down the busty one's top. Like that's a big part of the
yeah.
No,
originally.
that still happened. That still happened. I saw it. The version that I just watched recently, the frog went into the cleavage of the witch.
Okay. I was thinking that was like in a original version of the movie.
Unless Disney accidentally released the slightly raunchier version by accident, you never know. They could have just accidentally released the wrong copy.
I don't know, man. There is a distinct other version of this movie that exists. I don't know if there's like an English dub of it, but it was like for Spanish language viewers in South America, and it's called Terran and the Magic Cauldron, and it's like a lot of the same animation taken from this movie and like kind of rearranged into something vaguely similar because they were trying to recuperate the losses on this movie.
No, the version that I watched that had the frog go down her cleavage, that's on Disney Plus. I watched it this morning on D Plus.
Yeah, I saw the Disney Plus version of it, so maybe they accidentally released that version because
also that the belly dancer lady, she was a little risque too with some of the stuff she was doing.
Oh.
Yeah, they got away with it by making them a little chubby,
Right. Yeah.
But it's like, dude, it doesn't matter. Men are men. They don't care.
Yeah.
As long as you fulfill their thing, they're like, well, as long as it's a woman, I don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care about that. But yeah, that's it's so crazy that they did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, it didn't feel off. Like I knew going in right before that they altered the film, but you can tell by watching it. You don't even have to like as long as you're an adult, you could tell it was off. Certain
There's definitely
beats.
like stuff cut out of it, and things that they kind of start on. Like I don't know if they had more of the what's his name, Grooney or whatever.
Katzenberg.
No, the little badger in the game or in the movie.
I just call him Dobby, like from Harry Potter, because that's what he reminds me of. Just
Right,
just
but
like
I feel like there was like more interactions because he just kind of shows up, and then all of a sudden they're like best of friends kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get also the pig. I honestly think the pig was supposed to be the one that sacrificed itself instead
Oh,
and instead of that little creature there. I don't think.
Yeah, I thought that's what was going to happen, guys.
And also, I think the pig was
I thought
supposed
for
to
sure
talk.
that's where this is all leading.
Also,
Yeah,
I think
Oh,
the pig was supposed to have magic powers. It was supposed to speak. They cut
yeah,
it out.
Well, I mean, it's got powers, but yeah, it doesn't talk.
But
Yeah, but it has magic powers. You'd think it would talk, right? Because this is a
Jacob,
Disney
uh,
movie.
I wanted it to talk.
Jacob said he thought that it would it was actually a person like transformed into a pig, and at the end it would like turn into a princess or something.
It's possible because remember those frogs got turned in by those witches.
Yeah.
This could have been a magician or a priestess that got turned into a pig. She
Oh,
probably
man.
was a witch.
Hellwig is the original like keeper of the pig that got turned into a pig when the Horned King took the castle from Old Good King guy.
If you go down
oh,
one,
and
who's
here
the frog?
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it
Yeah,
is.
there it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Get banned off YouTube now.
I watched it on YouTube. Speaking of that, it had to happen. It's not. There couldn't possibly be a version of the movie where that wasn't in that I somehow miraculously watched. I just don't remember seeing it.
Yeah. Well, it happens pretty quick. So if you like were eating or something or looked away at your
Yeah.
phone real quick, you'd miss it. It wasn't
Oh.
like it lingered on it.
Also, the boy should have made a deal with the chubbier witch. Oh, you can have that old man as your boyfriend. Bring back my creature friend and give me the sword. And she would have done it easily.
Yeah, that would
Easily, she would have like,
Yeah.
oh, you can accompany us. You just got to give us the sword and my little friend, and she'll give
Bam.
it up in a heartbeat. She's like, really?
misconnection.
Yeah, I know, guys.
Like he would have had two things for the price of one, and he would have had a witch assistant with him. He would have had three things.
Yeah, and he would have bested the bargainers who were trying to take advantage of him.
Yeah, because you could tell the chubby witch was like the good one of the trio. She's like,
Mhm.
she's like,
You know
fine,
why?
we'll
You
be
know how
fair.
you can tell she was good? She didn't have any warts on her face. And her
Yes,
nose wasn't all
Ah,
and she's clearly the youngest one for
Right.
obvious reasons.
Mhm.
Yeah.
good call. I did not catch that. That makes sense though.
So he would have had three things. He would have had the good witch, he would have had the sword, and he would have had his creature friend. All three things. He would have won. But I guess this is Disney. It would have been considered evil back then to do that for his age. I'm like, that's not being evil. That's being smart.
I think he's just a role player. He's not a min-maxer.
He's not a min-max.
Yeah.
That's what a min-maxer would do.
This is Terran's a filthy casual.
Wow. Yeah,
Because
they
that
made
sword is cool, man. I'm like, dude, a magic sword?
Yep.
Mhm.
He could become a king if he wanted to. All he had to do was like, the gods bestowed upon me with this witch or this priestess woman pretending, right? And she plays along as like, they say I shall be the king of this nation, right? And the sword doing magic tricks and stuff like that. They don't even have to have the witch to do it. The sword can just do like slice alcohol jugs and all that
Oh,
just to
yeah.
prove the point. Yeah. Oh, I guess you're
kept
king
thinking-
now.
I kept thinking they were going to use the sword to destroy the cauldron.
That would have made
Yeah.
sense too.
I think they probably those were one of the ideas.
Like
Obviously,
you gotta
got
throw the sword in
scrapped.
the cauldron to destroy it.
Yeah.
I think the sword would be totally capable of doing it.
And it would have survived too. I
Yeah.
think it would have been so strong that because it's a magic sword, it's a holy
Yeah.
sword.
Well, if you see, so there's a part where he wants them to like give him the Black Cauldron, and when they just send a bunch of pots like flying around him and stuff, and he cuts them all apart, and that's when they're like, "Hey, we'll make you a deal." Instead, they were probably gonna, I don't know, just mess with him and then not give it to him.
Well, didn't
At
remember
first.
the old witch, the one that was the
Oh,
evil?
they wanted to
of
eat
the,
him.
No, she said, "Oh, we're not going to trade. We're going to pretend to trade." Right?
Yeah.
Clearly, they left that in by accident because of budget reasons. Because I heard her say that.
I remember her saying something like, "It's not going to be any use to them anyway." So like we're just going to end up with both things eventually.
Right. But she was going to eat him because she's
Yeah.
like looking at his arm and is like, "You look tasty."
Mm.
It's kind of disturbing, those frogs that were in there, like, because remember, frogs could be edible, right? Like
Right. Yeah.
like frog legs from the French and all that. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, you put two and two together. What if they weren't frogs originally? What if they were just dead people?
Oh, I thought that there were totally people they had captured and turned into frogs that were in that
Yeah.
chest. Because all the frogs get out and they're like, "You let all our frogs go, so now we're going to eat you instead." And I assumed once she started turning the bard into frogs, into a frog over and over, that all the stuff that was in a chest was real people.
Yeah, that would make sense. This is the kind of stuff. This is like the fleshing out of the world that I felt like I was really missing. Like we were talking about that when I first came on. That like I felt like I wanted like more story and kind of like character building, like to figure out where these characters came from. And Shieldwall had pointed out that there's only so much runtime, and it's told more in like a oral history tradition, and that makes total sense to me. Like from the perspective of like a bard telling a story at a tavern.
Right, exactly. It's
In
like,
the
let me
in the
tell you
context of the movie, though, like I really felt like I was missing that stuff.
Also, it felt like they were supposed to go back to the old man at the end of the movie, right? Instead of him just like, and that's the end of the story. I'm paraphrasing, but you know what I mean. Like he's like, you see, you did well, kid. No, it clearly they were supposed to come back, or they were supposed to reanimate it for them to go back to him. But I guess budget reasons are like, yeah, we're just gonna pretend that they
rushed.
come back. We're just gonna.
Basically, like everything after the fair folk encounter, like I felt like I was being rushed to the finish line.
It did felt rush. Like it just you could
Well, like, I
tell.
assumed there was more money and there was more movie in there at one point, and they just took a lot of it out.
And it's sad
Yeah,
we're never gonna see that unless they use AI or like old animation cells or drawings to cobble it to be
Shieldwall
with.
said that. That's so
The
funny.
only way.
Yeah, I said in probably within 10 years they'll be able to redo the whole thing in AI, like fill in the gaps perfectly.
I guess great minds think alike, because I didn't know that you said that, but that's great,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I think they could do it. They just use all the concept storyboard art that they found, and they cobble it with the AI, and literally we get the lost scenes back. How cool would that be? Like
That would be
movies
dope.
or
I'm gonna watch
TV
that.
shows that were deleted, that we think is lost forever. It doesn't have to be like that anymore.
Because like this movie, I mean, it was good and I enjoyed it for what it was, but it felt like it could have been like a lot. There could have been a lot more to it. Like it could have really been epic.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just a shame that like Disney care. Oh, what think of the children?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a valid consideration. Also, though, maybe that's never what this was supposed to be.
I think it should
Like,
have been PG-13 or R, but you know,
I would have been totally down for that. Well, like if my consideration was like, I need people to be able to bring their little kids to the movie. Like, I get that part, but if that's the case, like maybe you're making this movie for the wrong people.
it should have been for teenagers and young adults. That was the point, and
Totally.
it just feels like, I don't know. It's so weird. I call this the Disney lie. That kids, it's always associated with cartoons. It's like, that's not true. Adults watched cartoons back in the 20s and 30s and 40s as entertainment / like to watch the actual movies back then, or the
There were
silent
adult
pictures.
cartoons back then.
Yeah. And there were nude drawings of women in those animations.
Oh, yeah. Dude, you could find some really spicy cartoons like from the World War II era that they were showing the troops. Like they're pretty.
Yeah,
rough.
Betty Boop was nude in one of those. I'm not even joking. I'm serious.
That's because it
I
was
know.
pre-code. Anything before, I think it's September of 1933 is when the code enacted.
What is it? The Hawley Code?
Yeah, it's whatever the code was that really restricted what you could show in movies. But if you saw movies before that, there were some wild stuff going on. In them.
I think we talked about this Shieldwall on my channel when we were going through the old monster movies.
Yeah,
The Mummy in particular.
Oh yeah. I could see you. I could see the Rising Dead on your screen too.
Yeah, because it's like it sucks that like this was butchered from the vision, and not only that, but I felt like the old man wasn't the only one that was being flirted with by women. If you catch my drift, like I think originally the boy was supposed to be flirted by other teenage girls or something on his
Mhm.
journey. But this is Disney. We can't have sex. Like implied. It doesn't have to be even shown.
Yeah.
We can't have
The
because he's a boy. We can't. We have to be pure and innocent. He can't. He
yeah,
can't
I
know
mean,
what
like
a
they
kiss
have
is.
like a couple like kind of fleeting moments of like, oh, we have like a budding romance going, but like it never goes anywhere beyond that. Like I remember one specific scene where Bard Guy and I think Little Badger Man are like seeing Taran and the princess together, and they're like, "Oh, isn't that cute?" But other than that, it never goes any further than that.
Yeah, it's teased. It's or implied that they might have a thing, but that's about it. And it should have been more. But I understand that like it's for the kiddos. We can't do this. This is so 1950s. We gotta have
But
the women
again,
wear bathing suits below their knees and stuff, and
well, yeah,
we
they
gotta do
wanted
that.
Snow White again.
Yep.
Yeah,
And men and women on TV, they can't sleep on the same bed unless it's the Flintstones. They can't. They have to sleep on twin bunk or bunk beds or on twin beds on the opposite side of the room.
Can't even show a toilet on TV, man.
Oh,
Yeah, that was weird. And it's crazy because in the Jackie Gleason show, right, the Honeymooners, he threatened to kick his wife's ass.
Yeah, pretty much every
That was
episode.
okay.
That was his thing.
Okay. That was okay. But kissing his wife or sleeping in the same bed was not okay. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
it's weird. Like the Puritan kind of standards. Like I don't know. I think guys, we're just gonna have to reconvene in like 8 to 10 years, like Shieldwald said, and we're going to make the PG-13 version of the Black Cauldron, and we will stream that for us. It'll be a tailor-made version of the Black Cauldron, and then we'll discuss the movie that could have been, that always should have been.
Yes. And also, during the beginning of the movie, we have to say a special shout out to Jesse Katzenberg and say "fuck you" to him
Right,
because he's
Mr.
an idiot and a
Katzenberg, if you're still
moron.
among us, this is what could have been, man. This slipped through your fingers, and that's on you. You got to live with that.
Yeah, he ruined the film. He legit. It wasn't like he said destroy it. He literally went inside the animation cells and destroyed / burned them.
That is like just so dumb, like moronic, man. I think like the movie as it is, like trying to like and thinking of like a rating for the movie, maybe like a 7, 6, 10, probably 7, 10. I enjoyed it for what it was. I would watch it again, certainly.
I like it. It's a shame we never got a sequel, but it did feel like something we needed more to the story than we got for obvious reasons.
It did feel like it needed more to it.
Yeah.
Like we don't like the girl in the story, right? She needed a little bit of a backstory to her journey. Like how the hell did she get there?
Right.
We didn't even
And
see
what
that.
happened to the glowing ball too?
And
Yeah.
what, she's a princess. Where's her kingdom? Who's her
Yeah,
father? You know what I mean?
It just felt like they dubbed it. We need a Disney princess. Let's just put this peasant girl. Let's redraw her outfit and make it look somewhat decent, and just say she's a princess.
That's
End of the
basically
day,
how they did it. Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I'm a princess. You're just gonna take my word for it.
because look, she doesn't even have to wear a crown. If she had like a golden bracelet or like an ankle bracelet that was gold or silver with gems on it, that would have been believable.
Dude, what if the princess was the original king's daughter and she has like some kind of magical immortality because like she's his heir and like she can't die until he's avenged or something, and like she's just been in the dungeon that whole time or like exploring the catacombs of the castle.
Oh, that would have been sad. It would have been like Samurai Jack season 5's ending where Ashi dies.
That's pretty close.
Aku's dead, so I can't exist. Bye.
Again, though, like this whole story, you probably know this, dude, but like it's based on 5 novels of a different name, kingdom of what was it, Shieldwall?
Predwin, something. He says, Terrence says the name of the kingdom in the beginning of the movie. He's like, I want to be like a warrior or a knight of the king of this kingdom. Hold on. Let's see.
So like surely in those books, this is all really. I guess like the author of the books himself had seen the movie, and he said he enjoyed the movie. It just really wasn't what he had written.
I agree 100%. He knew it was off.
It's Prydain, Pryain. Name of the
Yep, it
kingdom
was
from the
off.
Black Cauldron.
At least he didn't pull an Iraqi from Japan, like the guy who created JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and said, "Get rid of my film out of the theaters now," and it became lost media because of that.
Yeah.
He removed it from, so they never released it on any form of home video ever. There's no streaming service. It's lost.
Yeah, this
So-
guy was really cool about it. I mean, he said that like it was a good enough movie, but it just really wasn't what he envisioned, and he didn't feel like it was a reflection of his writings.
I think he was just being polite because he's like, at least one of my stories got adapted into a movie or something.
Maybe so. I'm not sure. Like this guy, I've never heard of this author before, but like supposedly these are like well-loved books.
So the princess Elonoui, she's from the kingdom of Lear, Llyr, Lear.
Lear.
Yeah, it's in the books and stuff. So the books are way more expansive, and there's like I bet if you read the books, you get the whole backstory of how she got in the castle and all of that stuff.
Yeah, because she just
Sure.
pops up at that place like nothing. It's like,
Right,
what?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has a whole like lineage. Her who her mother and father are, and obviously if she's a princess, then they're royalty there.
Yeah,
You-
that's true.
You know, it would have been funny. The twist is that she's actually not really a princess. She's like the youngest sister of the 3 witches, incognito, and in reality, she's posing as that so she could steal the fortune of the kingdom because the other daughter either is trapped somewhere or she's dead. So she's posing as her.
So apparently, the woman in her line from that royal house are formidable enchantresses, including her mother and grandmother. She has inherited these characteristics. Most readily visible is her manipulation of magic items called. Hold on, I gotta keep going. She calls Bauble, a small golden sphere that glows with magical light when activated by her willpower. Her father was a commoner with whom her mother fell in love.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's her name is not a historical Welsh name, unlike many used in the stories, but it turns up in the tale of something from like a really old story. Huh.
Yeah.
So her mom was actually the royalty, and her father was just a regular guy.
Right.
Yeah.
He married into it. So but that's why I guess she has, I guess it is woke. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I was just saying, like, it's good
Pope,
for that guy.
Pope asked if it was woke earlier, and we're like, no, dude, it was 1985. That wasn't even a vocabulary. But now that
I would
read it-
argue this didn't even get complicated enough to be woke.
Oh no, not at all.
It's like very
No.
surface level.
Yeah, this is very very out there to even be woke.
Yeah, not a good contender for that.
If they remade it today, it probably would be.
Oh, for sure, but like, yeah,
She would
no,
have
this-
the
this is-
sword.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
she
is
would have the
straightforward,
sword.
easy story.
In the one of the covers from one of the books, she does have a sword, but she's grown up, so she's probably taken her rightful place as queen of the
Yeah.
whatever.
Queen of the Andals in the First Men.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And like, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, she'd be Queen of Lears.
Yeah, that's where Taran is, right?
Yeah. Also, is it implied that that old man is also like a magic user or like a wizard?
Yeah, it's kind of.
You're talking about the guy that takes care of the pig?
No, well, not, well, obviously him, but I'm talking about the old man that went on the journey with them after they
Oh, you're talking
escaped.
about the bard?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the bard.
he's a bard. Um,
Because when he lies, the thing would break, and it's like magic. So I'm like, he has to be a wizard or like at least
I thought that
a lower tier magician.
the musical instrument is literally called a lyre. It's just spelled different, it's like Lyre or
Yeah.
something. It and so when he tells a lie, the strings break, kind of a play on words. But
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think the guy himself is supposed to be magical. The Dalbin guy at the beginning, he does say, like, I'm the only person that knows the secret of this pig. So, like, there must be some kind of order of sacred pig keepers.
Yeah.
There's always two, like Siths or something, you know? You got to have the apprentice. And
Yeah, that too.
It's
Yeah,
just
there's a lot.
it's just strange that the old man didn't go with the child, or when he found out he was missing, he's like, I'm gonna go after them. Like he's just no, I'm just gonna stay here, and if he dies, I can always find another kid somewhere.
yeah, I thought that was weird too, man. I thought it was weird when, okay, like originally when he says, like, go to this cottage on the edge of the woods or whatever. And then they eventually get to the cottage where the three sisters are with the cauldron. I was thinking, like, is this the cottage that he wanted him to go to originally?
I'm
don't
gonna
think
say
so.
no. I'm gonna say no. I think it was somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Disney just said no. We're just gonna say it's the spot that. Like, yeah, but that's super far away. How he described it.
Yeah, I don't. I guess, like, my only reasoning being that, like, it seemed like that had to be a significant place for some reason in the context of the story, and that, like, maybe the rest of that was just lost.
I,
I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying
I think the
fill in
witches
blank.
stole the cauldron from that other place, or they did years back, or the person he was supposed to meet at the cottage would tell them, you have to go where these witches are in their cottage, very far away from here.
Yeah.
Like, it was like a suggestion that Dolbin, like, knew more about what was going to happen after he got to this cottage, I guess is my thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so the bard in the books is way younger. He has like a pointed nose and spiky blonde hair. He's also secretly the king of a tiny kingdom in north of the Purdain area. However, the kingdom was so small, dull, and quiet that he could leave it without much notice. That's
Uh-huh.
Perfect.
So he basically wanders the land, and no, he can't do magic. But the instrument is magical, but its only power is the strings break when he lies.
It's like a funny, like, level 1
Right.
magic item you give one
Yeah.
of your players.
But but in the books, he uses his, like, he does have the ability to, like, convince people and sing and stuff and storytell, and he uses that to, like, help people out, like to help out Taryn and the princess. They go on adventures.
Save and throw
and stuff.
bonuses.
Yeah, or something, right? Like he can talk people. Like he's the one that convinces the witches to uphold their bargain.
Mhm.
Of course, he does it by, because the fat one likes him. But
Yeah.
Like I said, they would have won if they just would have had, like, the good witch left the other two ugly witches behind. He gets with her, gets the magic sword for the boy, and gets that little furry creature. They would have been unstoppable.
Yep.
But this is Disney. We can't. That's evil, making plans like that. It's not. But I call it smart. It's not evil.
Yeah, that's very true.
Because especially in those times, man, like you had these warriors or these demons or dragging people trying to go after you. How could you be safe without having a little cheat codes in your back pocket, right?
Yeah, I hear you there. Yeah.
Also, at first, I didn't think that horn guy that was like basically like a demon king. I thought he was just a human wearing like a skeleton mask, and then you see no, he's like a reptile guy,
Alert.
like a lurch. I'm like, wait a minute, I guess he's wearing a mask.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been struggling to try to adapt him and then make him look more appropriate for the audience at the PG level.
He's still
But
creepy. The voice actor was really good for him too. I saw Emily had said that earlier in the chat.
Yeah, it was John
John
Hurt,
Hurt.
the
Yeah.
guy that had the alien burst out of his chest in Alien.
Yeah.
He was really good.
Yeah.
He probably was the best actor in the movie by default.
Yeah. He was the coolest character.
yeah, yeah, he was quite the fit. I was introduced to the actor in the Crystal Skull movie where he played the guy that was not
Oh.
unable to speak until the Crystal Skull was restored and put back.
Oh yeah.
Right, he
dude.
had the poncho like thing on or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh damn it! I can almost think of his name. It's like Ziggy or Iggy or something funny sounding.
Talking about the character? Yeah, it was his nickname.
Yeah.
Although that whole movie kind of lost me the minute that a nuke went off and he survived
Yeah.
in a refrigerator.
Yeah. It's okay to forget what happened.
Yeah, that was just George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. Like, whatever. This is a fantasy movie. We're dealing with alien god things here. We might as well make it as off the wall as possible because nobody's gonna believe this, regardless.
Yeah. Like the things that always stuck out to me from that movie was the driving through the jungle and having like monkeys hail coconuts at the Yahtzees. Like that's the only thing that really comes to mind.
yeah,
Like, guys, what are we doing?
Yeah, I think they waited too long doing Indiana Jones 4. If they would have done it like in the late 90s, like 98, 99, almost 2000, maybe
Yeah,
they
that would've
could have
worked
had a
better.
better story. And they could have had Sean Connery in the movie too.
Well,
Yeah, that too.
It did kind of wrap up at the third movie, though.
Yeah, but he wasn't. Even though it's implied that he died years later, because technically the Indiana Jones movies up until the fourth one and fifth one, they were prequels to the first movie. You know, to Raiders. Like Raiders is like canonically like it goes. The second, third, and then Raiders, and then the fourth and fifth movie. So
I didn't even know that, man. I've never
Yeah.
seen the fifth one.
yeah, it is a prequel. I didn't know until years ago that it was a prequel.
I'm
But
pretty
it
much
is.
like, it's like a perfect trilogy, and I have never wanted to go beyond that.
Agreed.
yeah,
I saw the fourth one out of sheer, like, at the time, of course, I think I was probably like high school age, so like I was super stoked on it. Even
hello.
at the time, it's like, what is happening?
I don't know. It's just the executives not knowing what they're doing, just like with this movie. People who have the money and power think they know what they're doing, when in reality they don't know what they're doing.
Nope.
It pretty much pans out every time.
It's like, dude, I get it, guys. You have money and power, so we have to listen to you. But like, come on, you're not artists. You're just concept people who want to demand force your ideas, even though they're terrible ideas, like John Peters style with the giant spider / polar bear for Superman Lives. Because that's what they want. No, we want this, or the kids would like this. You mean what the executives want, not what the kids want.
Right,
Right
like,
on.
which kids?
Your kids that you want to go to the movies with, your children that you have at home.
Yeah, Well, guys, it was great having you. It was great having you guys on.
Yeah, it was a
Thanks
lot
for
of fun.
coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoyed seeing this movie. It was a first for me.
Absolutely.
Me
Yeah.
too. I'm glad I got to see it. It's always fun going on with you guys, getting to talk with guys. With the, we never get to chat other than this, really, for me at least.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having you guys on. I look forward to having you guys on again for more streams I got coming up later on too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. Have a good night, guys. Catch you all for the next one.
All
Next
right.
one's
See you
coming up.
later, guys.
Meters.
Take care.
Take care.